everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. I've been married to a covert narcissist for almost 20 years. I'm separated from him now, and what I do with this channel is I use my real life experiences to get information out there to people about what narcissism really is, what it looks like, what it does to you, and what it does to your family. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about narcissistic abuse, what it is, and ultimately how you can recover from it. Narcissists take part in chronic manipulation and devaluation of their victims. They leave you shocked, traumatized, anxious, confused, worthless, depressed, possibly suicidal. There's continual manipulation, and typically, a narcissist will never stop idealizing, devaluing, and discarding you in an endless loop. This type of abuse can leave permanent scars. It almost always leads to PTSD or CPTSD. For those of you that don't know, PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder is typically one event. CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, is multiple events that you're trying to recover from. And on top of that, because a narcissist has a believable fake persona to the outside world, they oftentimes escape accountability. In fact, you might even be blamed for the very abuse that is inflicted on you. Narcissistic abuse is evil. There's no other way to describe it. People have no idea. People who aren't abused by a narcissist don't know the hell that you go through when you are with a narcissist. And abuse by a narcissist is different from physical abuse, although certainly narcissists are able to physically abuse their victims. What happens in narcissistic abuse is narcissists plant seeds in your mind that lead you to your own destruction. You cause your own downfall from the seeds that the narcissist plants. They're going to encourage doubts, create insecurities that didn't previously exist. They'll gaslight you into believing that you deserve the abuse. A narcissist will rewrite history to make you look like the abuser. Narcissists are perverse, cruel, evil, and malicious with their methods. When you get together with a narcissist, you have no idea, no clue at all that what you're actually doing is walking blindly into hell. A narcissist will lure you in, and before you know it, you are in a trap that takes a tremendous effort to get out. But I really want to offer in this video hope. You can get out. You will get out. Do not let the narcissist keep you in hell. It is a choice. You don't have to stay there. Now, by no circumstance am I telling you that it's easy to get out, and I have incredible empathy for people that are in this situation. I myself have been in the situation, so I really get it, and I really understand. So many people are leveled by narcissists, and it irritates me. It bothers me to no end. And I really, really want people to know that you can get out. There is hope. Please do not feel like you're never going to be able to get out of this. You can, you will. Now I'm going to start the video by talking about some of the toxic behaviors of narcissistic abuse, and then I'm going to talk about some things that I did that really helped me to get to a better place. So the first toxic behavior I'm going to talk about is controlling. A narcissist has to control you. And remember, everything that I'm going to talk about, every method of abuse is intentional. The narcissist knows what they're doing. They're going to tell you that they don't. In fact, my own ex has done that. I'll talk to him and I'll tell him some of these things that he's done, and he'll say to me, well, I didn't mean to do that. That wasn't my intention. You know, they're going to say this, or they might even say, oh, I'll change. You know, if they think that you're going to leave or they're going to lose you and they don't want to lose you, they'll say anything. But I'm telling you, they know exactly what they're doing. They are master manipulators. Never underestimate what a narcissist is capable of doing. If you know you are with a narcissist, know 100% at all times, no matter what they say, that they cannot be trusted. So a narcissist has to control you, and one of the ways that they do this is they isolate you. They purposely isolate you from family and friends. They want you all to themselves. If you don't have a large support network, you're not going to have anybody that can help you, anybody that can rescue you from the narcissist. Now, In my case, I already came from a background where I didn't have a supportive family. So he didn't have to do anything with my family. That was already gone. When it came to friends, he took me away from people. There was a point in my relationship where I didn't have any friends, none. Nobody that I could call, nobody that would help me. He convinced me that people didn't like me. Now, it's crazy today when I sit here and think, oh my gosh, like, because this will happen. You will ruminate and you'll think back to things that the narcissist said or things that the narcissist did, things that now you can see so clearly, but you didn't see it then. So he would convince me of this. He would always tell me that people didn't like me. People didn't really want to be around me, that people were being fake to me. Didn't you see the way she was looking at you? Did you see that? Look at that. Oh, I heard this. This is what they do. And you don't know that you're with an abuser. You think that you're with your loving spouse. And of course, your loving spouse isn't going to lie to you, so you believe them. This is so crucial. It's like I said, they're planting these seeds. So he planted these seeds. He told me these things. So I, on my own, stopped friendships because I didn't want to be around these people anymore. This is all intentional. Now, another way that narcissists abuse you is through stonewalling. This is also referred to as the silent treatment. Now, my ex is the king of silent treatments. It's his favorite method of abuse. When somebody gives you a silent treatment, you are invisible. You don't exist. You're spiritually dead. To the narcissist, they don't see you, and you feel that deeply. To people outside of the relationship, if you tell somebody this, they're going to think it's nothing. Oh, they're ignoring you? Well, just ignore them back. It's not like that. Your brain registers the silent treatment, stonewalling, as physical pain. It's painful. It hurts. You become obsessed with this pain. Just like if I broke my arm, I'm not going to be able to ignore that pain and just go about my day. It's the same thing. A silent treatment is excruciating, and it creates chronic insecurity. You don't have any stability in your life if you're being given a silent treatment. You're always walking on eggshells. You have no support, no validation. You are worthless to the narcissist. And if you're with somebody who gives you the silent treatment, you live in fear. You're always afraid you're going to trigger a silent treatment. You don't look at it because, remember, this is when you don't realize you're being abused. So you don't look at it as this person is purposely manipulating you. You look at it as, I have to prevent this from happening to me. You don't have any voice in your own life. And if you're given a silent treatment, if you are with somebody who gives silent treatment and you're early in your relationship, I'm telling you right now, it gets worse. At the beginning of my relationship, silent treatments would last a couple hours. My ex has a record of 7 months. Now, today, when I think about that, it sickens me. It makes me sick. I hate myself for putting up with this. But I didn't know. I was in the middle of the cycle. I was living in hell. This is what happens to abuse victims. You aren't aware. You're not thinking rationally because you're in the middle of the trauma. It's not until you're out of the relationship that you're going to be hit full force with the reality. And we're going to talk about that when we talk about the recovery. Another way that narcissists abuse their victims is with hot and cold behavior. They will be loving 1 minute, and the next minute, for no apparent reason, they will become cruelly cold. This is an abuse cycle. It's an endless cycle of good and bad feelings. It's a technique called intermittent reinforcement. So this works on a biochemical level. You have pleasurable moments that are few and far between, merge with cruelty. That causes the reward circuits in your brain to become strengthened. You are literally like a lab rat. You're like a lab rat. You're continually seeking a reward. It becomes an addiction. You end up craving a reunion with the narcissist. You're hooked. So when we get hooked to the narcissist, we are in this addictive cycle of highs and lows. The highs that result from the rush of the dopamine that's released when the narcissist takes you back, when they give you positive reinforcement, you live for that. It is exactly the same as somebody who is a drug addict looking for that high. If you're a drug addict, you love that initial high that you get, and you're always seeking it. You want it again and again, and you can't get that initial high. It's the beginning of your addiction, but you're always, the rest of the addiction, you're looking for that again because you remember how good that felt. When you're in a relationship like this with somebody, you get that initial feeling. You can feel it again. So you're with somebody, they're treating you cruelly 90% of the time. But that 10% of the time, it feels so good when they take you back. You live for that. So you really are like a lab rat pushing a little lever, trying to get a little sugar cube. A narcissist has demeaned you and degraded you to that point, and they're just fine with it. You're running in circles. You're on a little hamster wheel trying to get satisfaction from somebody that hates you. This is the reality when you are with a narcissist. Now, another thing that they're going to do is gaslight you. So gaslighting is when they will convince you that there's no abuse. It's meant to make you doubt yourself. It's mind control. A narcissist will cause you to doubt your own memories. They'll purposely confuse you. And this will start usually with a little lie mixed in with the truth. Over time, they'll add more and more lies. And then they'll tell you, you're remembering incorrectly. You're exaggerating. Oh, they'll tell you you're too sensitive. You end up not knowing what to think. You remember this is happening before you're aware of you're being abused. So again, with all these things, you don't know this is happening. But a narcissist will make you think that you're losing your mind, or make you think that you don't have a good memory, make you think that you're making things up, or you must be exaggerating, and you believe it. Now, my ex used to always hide things from me. He would take things out of my purse, he would hide things, and then he would tell me that I lost it. So I would think I was losing my mind. Where's my phone? Why can't I find my phone? Where's the remote control? Where are my keys? He would do this on purpose. Now, he doesn't live here anymore. He hasn't lived with me and the kids for 1.5 years. I don't lose things anymore. But I really thought, what the heck? What's happening to me? Now I know, but I didn't at the time. So if you're in the middle of this and you feel like I'm losing my mind, why am I always losing things? Why am I remembering things differently than the narcissist? Of course, you're not thinking it's the narcissist. Why am I thinking things differently than my husband? This is why. They're gaslighting you. Now, the last one I'm going to mention, and there are many more, but just for the length of the video, is smear campaigns. A narcissist will slander you to family, friends, coworkers, neighbors, anybody. So while you are quiet about problems, while you don't share what's going on, the narcissist is. Just like they put little seeds of doubt in you, and these grow and water in your brain, and you take over your own downfall. The same thing is happening to other people. So they're planting little seeds about you. They'll say little things about you. They'll pretend they're worried about you. Oh, I'm so worried about Sharon. She just doesn't seem herself. She seems to be forgetting a lot of things. Or, oh gosh, she can be very cruel to the kids. This is what they do. And then other people are starting to think negatively of you. So then if you go and you mention anything, if the relationship is over and you tell somebody what's really going on, they're not going to believe you because these seeds have already been planted by the narcissist. They're always one step ahead of you. So they're thinking to themselves, oh, yeah, so-and-so told me this about her, or I knew this about him from his wife a long time ago. Wow, she's not kidding. Look at how he is. This is what they do. It's all intentional. It leaves you leveled. When the relationship is over and you wake up to what has happened, you're going to be in for the shock of your life. It's no joke. It's traumatic. It is trauma-inducing, and you have a recovery process to get through. But you can get through it. What you need to do, this is what has helped me. It has helped me tremendously. The person that I was 1.5 years ago compared to the person that I am now is a completely different person. I have a lot of new friends, so a lot of people that I know don't even know who I was before. They don't know me that way. They only know me this way. But people who do know me, people who have known me from when I used to be this shy, timid, scared person hiding behind my husband, have seen a tremendous change. It's noticeable. This can happen to everybody. Now, the first thing that helped me, and I don't want to be a turnoff for anybody, but I have to say this because this has been instrumental in my recovery, is God. For me, God has changed my life. I do have faith. I've always had a faith, but it's been strengthened since my relationship with my narcissist ended. I've had real miracles happen, different things. For example, one time when actually the night that everything ended with my husband and I, this was in December of 2019, my ex accused me of throwing him into a wall. Before I apparently threw him into the wall, which didn't happen, I grabbed onto his arm and pulled him, and I admitted that to the police, and the police told me that they should have arrested me for that because technically that's domestic violence. They didn't. They told me that They couldn't leave my kids alone with him. They didn't trust him, even though technically I shouldn't have done what I did. There's no way that they were going to leave him and take me. Things like that happen to me on a regular basis. They should have arrested me for that. They didn't. I know God has been looking out for me. There's many more things. I am planning a video in the future about all the miraculous things that have happened to me during my recovery from narcissistic abuse, but that is just one thing. Little things like that, actually not little things, big things like that, because if they had arrested me, my ex would have been alone with my kids, and I don't know what he would have done. He's incredibly unstable. I mean, that night, I saw him, my kids saw him bang his head repeatedly on a wall, blood dripping down his face. And then he told the police, he told the paramedics that I did this. He was also carted off to a mental hospital because he had passed out with a loaded gun in the front of the house. I don't know what he was going to do. We do have weapons in the house. I don't know. Would he have hurt the kids? I don't know. So to think that my kids could have been alone with him while I was in jail because I pulled his arm is outrageous. So I really always had people on my side, people that supported me. Every time I called the police, every single time they dragged him out of the house. Every time, they didn't have to do that. But I always had that support on my side, and I'm grateful for it. So I can't tell you that I recovered without God. I just did. Another thing that helped me was support. I had a lot of support, and that is crucial. For a long time, like I said earlier in the video, I was in a relationship. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have support. I didn't have somebody that I could call to come over to the house and help me. I didn't have somebody that could help me with the kids. I didn't have a family. I didn't have anybody. I only had the narcissist. However, a couple of years prior to when things went really south with my ex, I started getting involved with the church, and I started meeting some people, and I can't say enough nice, good things about my pastor. He was really there for me. He was instrumental in me getting to the point where I even recognized that I was abused. The first time that I spoke to him, spoke to him about my husband's alcoholism. I wasn't even talking to him about abuse or any other thing that was going on. It was solely the alcoholism. And he told me that day that I was being abused. That day. And he told me that it was perfectly acceptable for me to get a divorce. He knew. I didn't know, but he knew. Having somebody like that in my life was instrumental in change. And he's not the only one. As time has gone by, I've met other people that have been good to me, people that are there. Today, there are people that I could call that would come over to my house right now and help me. I didn't have that before. So support is instrumental. I got support from my church. So if you are involved in a church, if you don't go to church but you're religious, go. I encourage you to go. Find a good church. My kids and I shopped around. We did some church shopping, and we ended up finding a fantastic church. It didn't happen right away, but we did find one, and that has been life-changing for my family, because not only do I have support there, but so do my kids. They have a lot of youth group programs. They have a lot of good friends all through the church. So I highly recommend you find a church if you are in a situation like this, because these people can be life-savers for you and your family. Another way that I have helped myself recover is gratitude. I'm grateful. I don't focus on the bad things. Yes, I do think about them sometimes, but I'm out of the relationship, and that I've been on my knees thanking God for that. I'm very grateful. I have a lot of gratitude. I see the positives in my life every single day. That has made a huge difference, because if you focus on everything negative, if you focus on the pain all the time, that's what you're going to feel. What's in your brain is what's going to happen. Think about what I was talking earlier about the narcissist. They plant these seeds in your brain, and you water them, and they take over. The narcissist doesn't have to do anything after a certain point. It can be the same thing. You can plant your own seeds in your brain. You can plant seeds of gratitude. Focus on the positive, always the positive. That is what's going to lead you out. Focusing on the negative is only going to keep you stuck in the trauma. It's difficult to do sometimes, but you can do this with practice. Everybody can do this. I've used this example before to tell people. I used to have a terrible Boston accent, and I just can't stand the Boston accent. So no offense to anybody who has it. I had it for like 20 years. So I used to have this terrible Boston accent, and I didn't want to have it anymore. It was really hard when I first was trying to lose the accent. I had to constantly think about it. I would always be thinking ahead when I was going to say something, always. And it was hard at first because I didn't have spontaneous conversation because I always had to think about what I was going to say ahead of time. And certain things, if I had like say two hard words next to each other, it was very difficult for me to say the words because I had to do two of them. It was really hard. Over time, though, it became natural. So now I can do it. I don't have to think about it all the time. I do still have to think about it to a large degree, but it's natural now. It's not hard. It's still hard certain times. Two hard words together are hard for me to do, but in general, it's just become natural. It's become a part of who I am. So that can be how it is with gratitude. It might be hard at first to be thinking of something that you're grateful for when you're feeling a lot of pain. But if you keep doing it every single day, it becomes natural. It becomes second nature. You can really change the way that you think. Another thing I'm going to talk about is determination. I am determined not to let my ex beat me. It is just something in me. I don't know what it is, but I really have the attitude, over my dead body, is he going to beat me? Is he going to hurt my kids one more day? This happened for a long time. I got married in 2002. I started dating him in 2001. So we've been together for 20 years. I will not let him hurt me or my kids. I just won't do it. So I have a determination that I will not allow to be squished. Like I just won't. I have this determination. If you have a determination, if you have that attitude where over my dead body, it's going to aid you. It's going to benefit you tremendously. You have God, you have support, you have gratitude, you have determination. You're going to be doing all right. If you have love, that's another thing. You can't let the narcissist take love away from you. You can't let the narcissist have you think of the world as a bad place. I know that love is in this world because I have love inside of me. I know it's real because it lives in me. Yes, there are bad people in the world. Absolutely, 100%. But most people aren't that way. So yeah, you, me, other people listening to this, other people in the world have had terribly bad experiences. Really bad things have happened. But that doesn't mean that everybody's bad. If you can go out into the world feeling love, giving love, what you give off will return to you. Don't be afraid to love. Don't think that everybody that you meet is going to be a bad person or you're going to end up in another narcissistic relationship. I'm telling you, love is real. Hold on to that. Don't let the narcissist win. You also have to accept what happened. You can't pretend it didn't happen. You can't pretend that the narcissist didn't mean to do it. You can't pretend that you didn't lose however many years you lost. I lost 20 years. I have to accept that. It's painful. It's very painful, but it's a reality in my life. I have to accept it. I can't dwell on it, but you have to accept what happened so that you can move forward into a new life. And I really, really believe in fake it till you make it. That doesn't mean that you're a fake person or that you're a liar, but what I mean is that people who know me every single day of being in a good mood. I'm cheerful, I'm happy, I have a positive attitude. If I feel bad, if I feel horrible, I still put a smile on my face. When you do things like that, you feel better inside. It transfers into your emotional capabilities. You are not going to be a miserable person if you force yourself to have a smile. For my kids, they have seen me upset very few times. They saw me upset in December of 2019 when my ex was accusing me of beating him up. He was filing a false police report against me. I was very upset. I was hyperventilating. The police wouldn't leave the house because I was so upset. It was a really bad night. And then I found out that Child Protective Services were coming over. I was leveled. I was gutted. I was laying on my floor. I was really upset. They did see me that time. When Child Protective Services came over, like 2 days later, they saw me stressed out to the max that day. Other than that, my kids don't see me upset. They see me happy, cheerful, even when I don't feel it, because I want my kids to have a happy home. I want my kids to be happy, successful, productive adults. I want them to know, I want them to see that it's okay. You can have bad things happen to you, and it doesn't mean that the rest of your life is ruined by somebody that hurt you. It's crucial that you do this. If you want to recover from this, if you want to move forward, these are the things that you have to do. You can do them. If I can do them, you can do them. Really. Like, people always tell me, oh, you're so strong. I'm really not. I'm just determined. So you can do this too. If I can do this, you can do this. I know you can. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it helped. The goal for my channel is to have people overcome narcissistic abuse. I want to help people. I want you to know it's going to be all right. You can do this. Do not let the narcissist plant those seeds and have them take such deep root that you never can recover, that you can't ever have a happy life. There is joy waiting for you. I promise you. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on all things related to narcissism. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And if all goes well, I will see you in Friday's video. God bless you all, and you can do this.